Tatsuo Shimabuku was born in Okinawa around 1906. During this period, Okinawan karate was dominated by two major styles, Isshinryu and Goju-Ryu. Fascinated by martial arts, Tatsuo convinced his uncle to teach him Isshinryu at the early age of 8. Several years later, Tatsuo became a student of the legendary Isshinryu master Kane. He quickly became Master Kane's best student, mastering technique after technique. Tatsuo's search for knowledge was an endless path. As a young man, he began studying Goju-Ryu under the style's founder, Master Miyagi. Several years passed, and Tatsuo again had proved himself to be a worthy pupil. Not only had he completed his training, but he was the first man to master both Isshinryu and Goju-Ryu styles. Still, his quest had not ended. He sought out another famous Isshinryu instructor, Master Motobu. Master Motobu was known throughout the islands for his fighting prowess, and as his student, Master Shimabuku developed his kumite skills into a precise art. During the late 1930s, Master Shimabuku participated in a martial arts festival on the island. His performance of both Isshinryu and Goju-Ryu styles was so impressive that by 1940 he was recognized throughout the islands as the foremost proponent of both forms of karate. Still, his search for knowledge continued as he sought out the best weapons instructors on the islands. Soon he had become a master in such weapons as the bow and the sai. By the early 1950s, Master Shimabuku began to unite his Isshinryu and Goju-Ryu styles of karate. After consulting with the leading karate experts on Okinawa, Master Shimabuku realized his dream. Blending what he thought to be the best principles and techniques of the two karate systems, Isshinryu, meaning one heart, one mind, was born on January 16, 1954. While developing Isshinryu Karate, Master Shimabuku dreamed of expressing in symbols the ideals of the Isshinryu system. He envisioned a beautiful sea goddess named Mizugami, half woman, half serpent. She symbolizes the calmness a karateka should display when facing unknown conditions, represented by the turbulent sea. Her left hand is open as a sign of peace, while her right hand is clenched in a fist, representing her strength and willingness to fight should evil persist. In the upper right-hand corner appears a dragon who has forced himself above the troubles of life and into the peace and quiet that we all seek through the knowledge of karate. This is symbolized by the gray night sky. The three stars signify the birth of Isshinryu Karate, with the left star representing Isshinryu, the mother, the right star representing Goju-Ryu, the father, and the middle star symbolizing Isshinryu, the child. The writing spells Isshinryu Karate. It was Master Shimabuku's belief that you should avoid trouble if at all possible and use karate as the last resort for self-defense. In 1955, several Marines with the 3rd Division stationed on Okinawa sought out the best karate instructor on the island. They were directed to Master Shimabuku. Undergoing extensive training for many months, a few of the Marines were awarded black belts by Master Shimabuku before returning to the United States. One young man displayed such discipline and perseverance that he was appointed by Master Shimabuku as his personal representative to the United States. Upon returning to America in 1957, he taught Isshinryu Karate to a group of Marines at 29 Palms, California. Transferring home to Tennessee, he instructed the local Marine reserves and after a short time opened the first Isshinryu dojo in the Southeast. Dedicating his life to the art and instruction of karate, he has been instrumental in the development of the Isshinryu style throughout the United States over the last 30 years. When Master Shimabuku visited his former students in the United States in 1966, he awarded this outstanding gentleman 8th Dan. The International Isshinryu Karate Association, which was founded in December of 1974, awarded this ex-Marine the rank of 10th Dan on February 6, 1988. Today, He is one of the world's foremost authorities on the Isshin-Ryu style of karate. Listen now to Master Harold Long.
My personal knowledge of the history of Isshinryu Karate began when I was a young Marine on Okinawa in 1955. I asked about who the best instructors were on Okinawa, and I was advised by my house girl that the Grandmaster Tatsuo Shimabuku was the best Okinawa had. So she gave me directions how to get to the village of Chun, which it was really in the middle of nowhere. You rode a bus, you told the bus driver where you wanted to get off. He'd know of everything on the island. He would stop, let me off. I would walk up through the rice paddies until I reached Master Shimabuku's home in Chun Village. His dojo was his front yard, and we changed clothes in one room of his house. We very seldom ever wore a gi top. Some of the old photographs you see on Okinawa, you see just the gi bottoms on. This was due to the heat and the humidity. Ordinarily in the summertime, the heat would be about 90 degrees. The humidity would be plus or minus 4%, which would run from 88% to 92%. So this kind of restricted us of what we could do during the daytime hours. So I tried to go down on early morning and then kind of take cool for the hot part of the day, then really accelerate the training again in the late afternoon and early evening. And this is how our training was at the original dojo on Chun Village on Okinawa. And incidentally, there's only 2 active people in the United States today that trained at that dojo, and that is Master Don Nagel in Jersey City, New Jersey, and I. Then after about 19 months of very intense training on Okinawa, we got transferred back to the United States. Mr. Nagel went to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and he started teaching a large group of Marines there. I was transferred to 29 Palms, California. In my backyard was my first dojo. I taught a group of Marines in my backyard on up until 1959. I was discharged from the United States Marine Corps, and I came back to Knoxville, Tennessee, and I first started teaching at the Navy Marine Training Center on Alcoa Highway. But in the meantime, Mr. Nagel had been discharged from the United States Marine Corps, and he moved back to Jersey City, New Jersey, and opened his first commercial dojo. And a few months later, Mr. Steve Armstrong come back from Okinawa. He relocated in Tacoma, Washington. Mr. Harold Mitchum come back from Okinawa to the United States, but he was still in the Marine Corps, so he traveled around several different bases. And on retirement, he opened a dojo in Albany, Georgia. And after this period of time, the key people that I'd trained, the key people that Mr. Nagel and Mr. Armstrong and Mr. Mitchum had trained, these are the people that are responsible for helping us bring Isshin-Ryu to the point that we have brought it in the United States today. This is the fastest growing system in the world today. It has been since its inception in the United States in 1957. And thanks to so many dedicated karateka and people that I'm teaching and bringing up, and we're teaching 5th generation people now. So we have a history that we're putting together right now. This is part of it. It's a picture history so that everyone will know where our heritage is, who brought karate to what levels, and what your obligations are to continue Grandmaster Tatsuo Shimabuku's work. And that is to make Isshin-Ryu the most beautiful, most effective system of karate in the world today. And thanks to you, we have already achieved Master Shimabuku's dream.